What if Taylor Swift is Lavender Brown? Just came and became a pop star in the Muggle world.
Except that we know that she was not the popular girl, and the popular girls made fun of her.
Yeah, that's the only reason why she's not a fictional character from Harry Potter who transitioned into the Muggle world. Everything else seems reasonable.
You are listening to AP Taylor Swift, the podcast for Swifties who are all about the lyrics. We're your hosts. I'm Jenn.
I'm Maansi.
And I'm Jodi.
And we are your unofficial professors of Taylor Swift.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of AP Taylor Swift. And today we have a very special Christmas Day episode for you. We are going to do a show and tell on Harry Potter. Why is Harry Potter Christmas related? Because why not? Right?
Because ABC Family has said that it's a Christmas movie for years.
My song actually has a Christmas connection.
Same, totally same.
And the books do go... knowing what your song is. The books do... I think it's because of the magic. I think there's this magical, beautiful aura about the books and the movies that to me feels very similar to Christmas time, the Christmas time magic, Christmas spirit. But before we started recording, we were like, oh, so do we give a synopsis?
I think the
Harry
consensus
Potter?
is yes, of course. We should
So
summarize.
great. Settle down. This will be a 7-day long episode with live dramatic reenactments.
Yeah, I think it's interesting at the Christmas thing. We've talked about this once in the past because it kind of should be Halloween. They drink pumpkin juice. They are witches. They brew potions. Like, I don't know. It feels like
there are ghosts that are like actual main characters who are very important to the plot.
There's a headless hunt. And every year on Halloween, something important happens, like trolls in the dungeon.
Trolls in the dungeon.
Synopsis. In the 90s, there was this literary series written by a little woman in Scotland. 7 books based on lore. It starts off on Privet Drive one day when Mr. and Mrs. Dursley... No, I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah. We're not giving a synopsis. Obviously, everybody knows Harry Potter. If you don't know Harry Potter, join us next week. This might not be the one for you. We have brought up Harry Potter. We bring it up all the time because we're peak millennial. These are the things we grew up with.
It's similar to musicals.
So why not? It's a work of literature, and our job is to find literary works and draw parallels. So let's do it. Let's figure it out.
I feel like we should acknowledge the J.K. Rowling of it all slightly as pretty outspoken feminists over here and intersectional feminism. If you decided to never read anything where you didn't agree with the author 100%, you could not read anything. That is the reality. And you certainly couldn't read anything that was written more than like 40 years ago. So my 2 cents, find what you're comfortable with. My personal stance, I try not to give any money to J.K. Rowling. I really want to play the new Harry Potter video game. I'm waiting to buy it used. I lost my copy of the 7th book. I'm going to buy it used. So I personally want to enjoy the art, come at it with a critical lens, knowing that someone who has different views than me wrote it, and I want to make sure none of that is like getting through to me. And then I just make sure as much as I can, I'm not giving money to that creator personally. It's not going to change the world, but it's the line I can be comfortable with because all art is created by problematic people because all people are problematic. So that's my 2 cents on it.
On that note, there's a great book called Monsters, A Fan's Dilemma by Claire Detterer that explores the relationship between art and life. It's a hybrid of memoir and cultural criticism that considers how to balance revulsion at an artist's misdeeds with a love for their work. And it goes into, artists, filmmakers, authors who did pretty terrible things, yet, we still love, respect, or revere their work. And how do you balance that? And I just wanted to mention that because I think there's something very similar here with Harry Potter, where this is a beloved work with a controversial, troublesome, problematic author. And how do you balance those things?
Yeah, and also just take Twitter away from people who use it too often,
Amen.
These books have given an entire generation a lot of their moral compass in many ways, regardless of where you fall on various social issues. A lot of people grew up with these books, and it has really amazing lessons and really amazing stories. And I do think it's hard. I think it takes some of the excitement and enthusiasm out of a series that people love. But I like the idea of just like, we're figuring it out. We're complicated. We're people. We're humans.
We can still love the work.
There can be gray areas.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Because I think we could make every song about Harry Potter. And in fact, so far, I believe we have for the most part. I actually pulled up her most played songs on Spotify, and I landed on Look What You Made Me Do, which was obviously came out on Reputation in 2017. Several writers, so bear with me. It was written by Fred Fairbrass, Taylor Swift, Jack Antonoff, Rob Manzoli, and Richard Fairbrass. So I started reading the lyrics. I'm just going to read some lyrics to you. I don't like your little games, don't like your tilted stage, the role you made me of the play, no, I don't like you. We're going to scroll down. I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. I rose up from the dead, I do it all the time. I got a list of names and yours is in red underlined. And then going down to, I don't trust nobody, nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. And it was very clear to me, I truly don't think I need any more explanation than reading those lines, that this is Snape's song to Voldemort after Voldemort killed Lily. Like, just straight up, it is what it is.
Oh, I love it. You're like, I'm done, moving on.
I just read the lyrics, and I was like, yeah, that's it. He felt like he'd been played of a fool. His trust had been broken. He didn't like it. Voldemort's name immediately got on a list, red underline. Voldemort and Snape's 9 pretty much made him turn coat and go against him and play a fundamental role. I am not a Snape defender. For the record, I don't think bullying children is ever an acceptable thing. But from the relationship between Snape and Voldemort, he did turn coat. He did have a very key role in undermining Voldemort. I don't trust nobody, nobody trusts me. That's literally Snape in the entire book. Only 2 people actually trust him, and it's Voldemort and Dumbledore, and one of them was wrong. So it's a safe song. It pretty much is.
The part that tickles me the most about this choice is the moment in the song when Taylor goes, ooh, look what you made me do.
Oh yeah, there's so many like Snape dancing things I've seen on Instagram that I'm like, yeah, just throw this song behind it and we're good to go.
It's giving I'm too sexy for my shirt, Snape.
Exactly.
Do you guys remember that video?
Yes, I do.
No, I'm on a different part of the internet than you two. We've established. I love this, but then could it also be Voldemort?
To who?
To Harry. Like, honey, I rose up from the dead. I do it all the time. I got a list of names and yours is in red underlined.
Oh my God, it gets better. It's just so good.
I don't like your kingdom keys. They once belonged to me, right? Like, Voldemort used to be the name that everybody was saying, and now it's all Harry Potter, Harry Potter.
Yes, I would argue, I see your point. Here's my counterpoint. To say that Harry simply surviving the curse made Voldemort do everything he did is a little more passive. Like, Harry didn't do anything, but Voldemort
he just survived.
Knowingly killed Lily after
Correct.
promising not to do it. So it feels like a more aggressive, like, you made me do this because you broke a promise. You made me look like a fool. You locked me out of, like, your trust because you broke it.
Yeah. Yeah, the I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me is very Snape.
You could argue that the prophecy made Voldemort do it.
Yeah.
Because that is more of an attack on him, even though Harry had nothing to do with it. I like this, like, who else could this song be about kind of thing, because one of the things that I loved so much about Harry Potter and about any great book is that the characters are always so complex and well developed in such a story. And could this song even be about Harry? When he's about to go look for the Horcruxes, people are like, are we supposed to trust this guy? This guy's supposed to be the chosen one. He's the savior. And then there were a lot of people who were like, Harry's evil. Is Harry good? Is Harry bad? He goes from this meek little kid to like badass Harry in book 7. Annoying, whining Harry to like, I can do all this stuff. I know I can speak parcel tongue. I know I can do this. I know I can do that.
So you're saying it could be Harry to Voldemort?
To the wizarding world.
But everybody loves him. I guess you're right. It's only at the Horcruxes
People
part.
hated him. He became enemy undesirable number 1.
Eventually, yes, correct. You're correct.
Yeah, I think that one was when the Ministry had taken over the newspaper and the Prophet, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, when the Death Eaters had taken over the Ministry. So
I would say, like, when Voldemort comes back, there was a lot of work with Fudge.
Book 5, I think, is when this would be the truest. When no one believes him, Umbridge isn't true. This could be Harry to Umbridge, making
Umbridge.
a Dumbledore's army for sure.
Yeah, true. Just to play, like,
Yeah.
what else could this be about? I mean, I feel like that's a fun exercise, but I love the Snape.
Yeah,
I mean, this is Snape dancing to this.
I know,
It's the
it's
most
so good.
fun.
I
It's the most fun version.
I like this song a lot of a like 1v1 in some ways. Like the Voldemort to me too also gets into complexity of like, well, Harry made him do what he had to do. However, Voldemort wouldn't have been in that situation if it weren't for about 500 of his own choices. And like sort of true for Snape, but Snape had like one line to not cross. Voldemort crossed it. It was like a man versus man conflict,
Yeah.
like very straightforward. I just like the man versus man conflict of this, not like man versus society. Not that it's not there. That's
with the
music
you
for-
being a very specific person.
But I love the Harry versus Umbridge for sure. Like you made me do this. You made me start a secret class.
Harry also has risen up from the
Harry
dead,
has
for what it's
risen from
worth.
the dead. Yeah.
So basically what we did this with, I think it was when we did Pride and Prejudice, we're like, oh, this is one of those songs where all three characters are singing it from their own different perspective to a different person and what it means for them. That's basically what we just did to this song.
I'm remembering another point I did want to make that I thought was very compelling with Snape, because one of the things with Snape is the whole series, when you're reading it the first time, you're like, dude, get it together. Why are you like this? Why are you so intense? Why does Dumbledore trust you? Like everyone asks that over and over again. And then we get the lines, the world moves on, another day, another drama, but not for me, not for me. All I think about is karma. And like Snape has that Arrested Development of like nothing else in his life matters now except for getting vengeance for Lily's death. Like that's all he cares about. And that's why Dumbledore trusts him. And the world moves on, but one thing's for sure, maybe I got mine, but you'll all get yours. So like he knows that he made bad decisions by joining Voldemort. He was punished for it. He was punished for that trust, but he is determined. Like the only thing that's keeping him going is the knowledge that he will get his revenge as well.
Talking about the book specifically for a second, I really do like the fact you brought up the I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. And I think the fact that there were only two people who trusted him, Voldemort and Dumbledore, and one person was right. That was always an amazing idea in the book. All you have is his word. How could Voldemort have trusted him so much? Voldemort looked for acts to validate his trust, and Dumbledore didn't need to look at acts because he had the context. And for Dumbledore, love was everything. He was like, if your motivation is love, trust given, no doubt about it, you will never betray. That was like a power that Voldemort didn't understand. It has nothing to do with the Taylor Swift lyrics. I just really needed to say that to the world because I just really love that.
One of the core parts of the whole series, Voldemort, he ignores love and he ignores smaller, less powerful things. Like
he doesn't understand the power of it.
That definitely is part of it. Of like Voldemort knew Snape loved Lily, but in his mind, he devalued that and was like, "Oh, you'll move on. Love's not that big of a deal." And Snape is like, "The world moves on. Another day, another drama. Not for me. Not for me. All I think about is karma."
I would like the new HBO show to please feature this song at that part.
Oh, it could be like Bridgerton, but all Taylor Swift songs.
HBO, if you're listening.
If you're listening.
Okay, cool. Next.
Switching gears, I picked the song Lover from Lover, 2019, track 3, written by Taylor Swift. I don't know why this is the first thing that came to me, because to me, this is such a minor character. Lavender Brown. This is Lavender obsessed with Ron. That's it. Like I went, Maansi had asked the question, like, so how are we going macro? Are we going one book? Are we going micro? Are we going character? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going niche. I'm going with, I just felt the vibes. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? Take me out. Take me home. You're my lover. Right? Like just this saccharine, like it's infatuation versus love. So I think what's interesting about my choice is it flips Lover for me from this endearing, I'm in love with you, you're my person type of song to this obsession, unrequited obsession song.
I don't think I ever saw those lyrics as infatuation. I saw it as the like, you, my chosen partner, if you move across the world for your job, I'm going to come with you. I want to go where you go.
1,000%. That's exactly how I saw it. But when I apply it to Lavender, I see it as, obsession, infatuation. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close? Take me out, take me home.
The answer is nope.
Right. The answer is no, right? This is so, which I think was just fun to play with because she was so obsessed. So as I mentioned, I see those images from the movie perspective in my head. But then I went back to the book and was like, wait, what part of the book is this in? Is there something within the book that would give me this sense? And actually, the section that there's a lot. Yes, there's absolutely a lot. But there was one in particular that I found that I thought did a good job of specifically tying the book to this song because it's in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, book 6. And this scene starts with Christmas time. And I won't read the whole thing, but it says, snow was swirling against the icy windows once more. Christmas was approaching fast. And it goes into this whole scene of the Christmas in the Great Hall and what it's like. And then it says, like, Harry had to put up with the frequent presence of Lavender Brown, who seemed to regard any moment that she was not kissing Ron as a moment wasted. So, like, A, perfectly encapsulates Lavender and her obsession with Ron, but B, what is the first line of this song? We can leave the Christmas lights up till January.
Wow.
I know, right? And it's our Christmas episode. So here you go. This is why Harry Potter is a Christmas movie, and this is why Lover is a Lavender Brown Christmas song.
I actually almost also did a Lavender Brown song, but I was gonna do "Don't Blame Me." Your love made me crazy.
Okay,
the drug comparison.
That's a great one. There's also a TikTok creator, Jake L. I'll put it in the show notes, who does Harry Potter characters as Taylor Swift songs. He's like a huge Harry Potter fan, and he has a couple different series on Harry Potter characters as Taylor Swift songs. And he has Picture to Burn for Lavender.
Also good.
After she's right after
we just got 3 songs. Is this a Lavender Brown episode?
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Is Taylor Swift Lavender Brown?
Well, if you think about it, Lavender is all in on love and is obsessed with Ron, and then gets jilted, and so she goes through a whole arc throughout the books, or at least throughout the Half-Blood Prince. I think for the most of the books she's kind of a minor character. Yeah. She's just always with Parvati, just like gossiping in the corner, and it's really only in Half-Blood Prince that she gets kind of more of a secondary role. The other thing I was thinking for Lover is I was like, does this align at all to the love potion that Ron accidentally drinks, but not so much?
I also thought of Don't Blame Me for the love potion, because it's literally a drug reference of like, your love is a drug. It's,
Yeah.
And that's a drug. A love drug.
For sure. The love drug.
I could also see this song for like Pansy Parkinson, who was a weird leech of a human, for Draco Malfoy.
I still think this is a very sweet song, and you guys are ruining it for me.
Well, okay, no, Draco was the evil scum in the books, right? Like, he's the kind of jerk. Pansy could have been a very nice person, other than the fact that she's just generally mean to Hermione and Harry. But within their little sphere, I think she really did like Draco, and that's why I'm thinking of the 6th book when they're on the train and she's like trying to be really nice to Draco, and he's like, I don't care, I have bigger things to do now, I have a dark mark. Well, he doesn't say that, but that's kind of like,
that's the vibes.
That's the vibes.
Jenn, to your point about like perverting or twisting this song, again, I think that's the fun of picking a character that, like, the lens through which you look at this song could potentially change the meaning or how you see it. Because I too see this as a very sweet, endearing song, but I just find it really fun to look at it from this other angle.
To go with the endearing route, there's a brief moment of time before Ron ditches the trio during the Horcrux hunt, and I wonder if it could be like a Ron Hermione kind of song in that moment, because I think there's a moment when they're on the hunt together that Ron and Hermione are really like close together. Harry is carrying this burden of the Horcrux, and Hermione realized earlier in the relationship how she felt about Ron, and so there might be this moment where she's like, this is nice, I like that we're playing House in the Woods.
Yeah, I think I can see that. They've left school and they're realizing that like, oh, we're adults now, we're in charge of our own destiny, and this is the person or the people that I want to be with. You could even take it as not just to one person, but the trio together. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever, right? That in particular in that book is a moment where they're really not sure what forever is going to look like, how much longer forever actually is.
But especially with a lot of the kind of like wedding-ish language, I just feel like that's a moment where, but that would be like the more mature interpretation for Ron and Hermione. I like the kind of cutesy saccharine version for Lavender.
It's just fun.
I even think a little bit of Fleur and Bill.
Yes. That's very romantic.
It's very romantic. There's a simple domesticity here of all I want and all I need is to have a house with you, that we make the rules. And they end up they live in Shell Cottage, a very simple, sweet little cottage by the sea where they get to just be together. And it is that very actual love. They want to go wherever you go, I'll go. Even though he's been scratched by a werewolf, she still wants to go with him.
Speaking of werewolf, Lupin and Tonks, another great. Sad, but sweet.
Yeah,
because there's a moment where Lupin is not sure if he even wants to be in the relationship, and she's just like, please, can we move forward with this? Can we make it official?
Yeah, I think especially too, like in the last few books when you're getting into a war and the Battle of Hogwarts, that there's something really sweet about this song too that is, it's not adventurous. Simple. It's not, we don't need to travel the world together. We don't need to defeat evil together. Let's decide when we take down our Christmas lights. That's all I want. And I even think for Harry too, like the idea of can I go where you can go, the commitment, the stability of having
having a living room where your friends can crash.
It's like, and a family, that's so huge. That's not something he's been able to rely on. Like there's something kind of sweet there too. Yeah, I feel like it's a song that like the tone of how you would sing it would change it quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
And like your age, a 15-year-old singing this versus like a 24-year-old singing it, like that decade makes a big difference.
Which may be why when I apply this to Lavender, maybe it takes that shift because a 15-year-old singing about marriage and being forever is silly to me. Yeah. But to your point, Jen, like in a Fleur relationship and Bill relationship, that's a much more mature and makes more sense.
I'm highly suspicious that everyone who sees you wants you is Lavender to a T though.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Girl, no one else was wanting Ron that hard. Yes, Hermione was a threat, but nobody else. You were not fighting off waves of women for this man.
Especially not then. Yeah.
This is where I'm also like, I love Rupert Grint, but movie Ron and book Ron, though, I just think there was a little bit of a difference. Ron is this like super tall.
Yeah.
He's on the Quidditch team.
I think Rupert Grint could have pulled off book Ron if they hadn't done him dirty with so many lines.
Writing, the writing. We're not gonna get into the writing.
Yeah, there's like one scene even early in the books where I think Snape is mean to Hermione and Ron is like, she answered your question or like, and in the movie they were like, he has a point, and you're like, that is not.
He was a lion through and through.
Yeah.
He stuck up for his friends. He went to war for them. He like fought for them.
Leaving
Screenwriting did Ron dirty.
Yeah, leaving them in the woods in the book was bad, but literally the whole point of that is the second he left, he wanted to come back and he couldn't find them, and he spent the rest of that time trying to figure out how to get back to them.
I think that is a potential Substack topic for me and you to just justice for Ron.
Tune into our second podcast, which is all about justice for Ron.
Well, I have the last song. If we're ready to
go
macro zoom out. So
bring us home.
Yeah, I love the niche stories, but I feel like we couldn't do this episode without doing one relatively obvious song. And so I decided to do You're on Your Own, Kid, track 5 from 2022, Midnights, written by Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff.
Perfect.
A little bit of this goes without saying. You're on your own, kid. Harry Potter is about a boy orphan, abandoned with his aunt and uncle who hate him and lives under the stairs and has to defeat the most evilest wizard of their time on his own. It has to be him and Voldermort at the end of it. So I think there's this arc in the music, the way that the music builds, this song is all about listing out small moments from a character's lifetime, ultimately culminating in this epiphany that you're on your own, kid, and you always have been. And I'm going to get to that in a second, because even that crescendo at the end, there's a little bit of irony to it, in my opinion, the way that I hear this song. And I think most people also interpret it that way. But we have to get there. And so just starting off, I mean, we could go line by line in this. And I actually kind of did attempt to. And this isn't a deep dive, but if I'm doing like the Harry Potter version, I have examples of various lines that can be related to Harry Potter. We have fireplace ashes. I thought of flue powder, sprinkler splashes, not exact, but when Reginald Cattermole, who is Ron as another human in the Ministry of Magic in the 7th book, is trying to fix rain in the office.
They've love gone
through
scene.
some shit.
It's a like brief moment of humor in a very dark book.
Yeah. I waited ages to see you there. I searched the party of better bodies just to learn that you never cared. I got this flash of Harry coming out of Snape's memories at the very last book, only to realize that he's been kind of raised like a pig for slaughter. Dumbledore was just preparing him for the reality that he would have to die, essentially, as the final Horcrux. I see the Great Escape. There's a breakout from Gringotts. So Long Daisy May is not a direct reference, but Harry has to say goodbye to his love interest, Ginny, when he goes on the adventure. Writing in my room, there's Tom Riddle's diary. I play songs in the parking lot, I'll run away. I'm thinking about Harry in Muggle London, where he's just killing time, like waiting for his real destiny, and eventually escapes back to Hogwarts to go do what he was born to do. Flashes of memories from all 7 of these books, to me, culminate in that moment at the very, very end, when he has just seen these memories from Snape. He is walking into the forest to turn himself into Voldemort. It's that eye open at the closed moment when he kisses a snitch and he sees his parents there, and Sirius and Lupin, and he's just realizing, like, this is kind of the moment that his entire life has come to. This is the moment that the entire series has come to. And I think when you hear this song, I don't know if you all feel this way, tell me if you do, but what I think of is all of the building moments are lonely, but that crescendo through the bridge and to the end, it's this realization that even though you have been on your own, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have been alone. Mm-hmm. And I get these flashes of just the community and all the people who supported him through that. And this idea that you're saying that you're on your own, you've always been that way, but nobody gets to any place of importance by themselves. And so even though he's been on his own, there's been a whole community of people that have gotten him there. And that's kind of the irony, is that you feel the gravity in the music. There's enough pauses in the music to really make you kind of almost get these visuals of flashes and really think and reflect. And even though he's gone through this ridiculous journey over so many years to get him to this point, at a moment where he's about to die, he is sacrificing himself for the wizarding world, for that community, for all his friends, for everybody he loves. And it's this idea that even though he's been on his own all along, he's never really been alone, because he's had this massive, massive family.
Yeah, it's like dealing with the complexity of both. Of even the song, just in general, you have people, you have community. Make the friendship bracelets, take the moment and taste it. However, that community still can't live your life for you. Your life, you're still on your own for that. Harry still had to be the sacrifice. No one else could, no matter how much people loved him, no one could do that for him. But he couldn't have gotten there without those people either. Like, to make it a work thing, I need my coworkers if I ever want to get promoted, but I also can't get promoted if I also don't take responsibility and do what I need to do to get promoted. You know, like, there's
the dichotomy between the two. You have both. I also love the way you wove different memories throughout this song, because memory plays such an important role in this series. You have literally like the pensive, where they're taking people, like storing of memories is important, and that plays a pivotal role throughout all of the books. And the role of, you know, Harry's flashbacks that he has of his actual memories, but then also these opportunities that he gets to see his parents through other people's memories or through the mirror, right? There's in the room of requirement. They're all like memory plays such an important role in the book. And so I think this song, to your point, Maansi, does a really good job of turning those memories into a story.
Yeah.
Which I love. I thought that was it's a really great comparison.
Yeah. There's also one line, everything you lose is a step you take. And I think that also goes to just in summary of everything is he loses so many people. He loses Hedwig, very sad, and Dobby, so many deaths. And, he loses so many things, but it's a step to move forward. And there's that literal part of it, which is, in the end, it has to be him. It has to be him to defeat Voldemort. No one else could do this for him. He had to do it. He has to be brave. But there's that ironic piece of it is that he's always been on his own, but he's never been alone. So in fact, the ghosts of his parents are right there with him. The ghost of Sirius and Remus, the people he cares the most at that moment with the resurrection stone, they're right there. And this idea that he's always had the closest friends, community, he's had so many good memories. He's actually never been alone, even though he's been on his own the whole time. So the fact, to me, that line, "you always have been," is really significant because it's like a reminder that you're actually okay. Like, you've actually always been on your own. It's a little bit ironic to me in the way that I interpret it.
I put the two lines together. You're on your own, kid. You always have been. But means both you are doing this alone and also like, hey, you've always been
But
the
it's
one.
always been that way.
It's always been that way, but also, to your point, like nobody gets where they are without the people that have surrounded them. And I think about how, again, because I just rewatched the first part of the first movie, Harry's assumption for the first 11 years of his life was that
Nobody cared.
literally nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who he was. He was a kid under in the cupboard, and nobody had any idea who he was or where he was. And that was so far from the case. Here was an entire universe who knew who he was. He had people looking out for him and keeping an eye on him and just waiting for the right moment to be there for him and to show up for him.
Yeah.
And
people who praised his survival, people who celebrated because he survived. Yeah.
Well, I think about the line, I looked around in a blood-soaked gown and I saw something they can't take away, which I think really is that moment in the woods of like a blood-soaked gown. Metaphorically, he knows he's about to die.
Yeah.
Right.
100% he's walking to his death. And what he sees that they can't take away is the love of even the dead people. Again, it's love. There's so much underestimating of that.
Well, that's our connective tissue between all three songs. Love.
Well, I think it was in the 5th book when the Dementors tried to attack him and Dudley that he almost succumbs to them, but the final thing he thinks of is literally Ron and Hermione's face, and and that is a happiness enough to make his Patronus. And the thing that I think is interesting about this is I looked around Bloodsoaked Gown and I saw something they can't take away, that love that in the 7 years he's matured. It makes me think of the Mirror of Erised, where he almost got stuck in front of it, just wanting to see his family. And then we have the mirror image, not to use mirror again, but it's true. And it is seeing his parents and 2 more people who loved him, who he didn't even know loved him, and having the memories of all of these years of people who loved him, Ron and Hermione and all these people, that moves him forward to his death. So instead of getting stuck, which is the whole thing of the Deathly Hallows, is the resurrecting the dead, he gets stuck with the ghosts, and Harry almost fell into that trap. But when he's ready, those ghosts move him forward into the thing that he has to do on his own.
Yeah, and that's how he becomes the master of death.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought up the Dementor scene, because actually, when I was listening to this song, that part at the end, especially when she keeps saying, "You're on your own, kid, you always have been," I mentioned that there's these long pauses in the music that allow you to like really reflect. The sound of those pauses, the music actually sounds very similar to exactly the sound that the Patronus makes in the Harry Potter movies. You can go back and listen to it. But there's this like the lightsaber kind of. Yeah, like it's like a static humming sound.
Music. We're really good at the music part of things.
Yeah, I know. I always get stuck in these holes. But I do care about the music. I just can't articulate it.
We just don't talk about it. It's fine.
But yeah, the music, the sound that actually plays in that part of the music in this song is very similar to that Patronus kind of song. And maybe that's why I always associated that chorus as like the irony, is because it's a happy memory. This is a jubilant song, even though we're talking about being on your own. You're going through memories of an entire lifetime and you're left with like a happy thought.
I don't know if it's happy to me. I think there's a sense of triumph. There's a little bit of triumphantness.
Yeah, maybe triumphant, yeah.
But there's a lot of melancholy.
There's something that's like bubbling, at least when I listen to it. And
very
honestly,
emotional.
like maybe it's because I've always associated it with the Patronus sound and I just didn't realize it. But
for
like,
you, it's happy.
For me, it was always like at this moment, the words are saying something very sad, that you're on your own and you always have been. But the sound is bringing forward happy memories. And so you're having this idea, this conflicting moment of saying like, yeah, you're on your own, but you're not alone. Like you have all of these amazing positive memories. And I did have that realization that the sound is actually very similar to the Patronus sound.
Well, it even has the line at the very end, I think is what you're referring to, that you're on your own, kid. Yeah, you can face this. That's where there's that really big twist in the lyrics. Yeah.
That's Harry.
Yeah. And you've got no reason to be afraid. Like you're conquering fear.
Yeah. Which is that moment with Patronuses. Like you can face this. Like there's something in that moment of finding happiness where you're like, I can counter the embodiment of depression.
The darkness.
Yeah. If you were truly on your own, there would be reason to be afraid, right? But I think there's something in this song that's telling you like you're not alone. You're not actually on your own.
You have to tap into all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I mean, Taylor did in her Time Person of the Year article talk about collecting Horcruxes. So maybe it is the Patronus sound. Maybe she did absolutely think of Harry Potter when she wrote this song.
I think even more than all of the other topics we've done, though, I truly don't care if Taylor's intention was there or not.
Oh, no, not at all. But I love the idea that she is a Harry Potter fan. The fact that she mentioned Horcruxes just makes it that much more fun to dive in and make these connections, because we're like, well, it could be. I love it.
I'm sad that you didn't take the line about the taxi and talk about the night bus, though, because I feel like obvious.
I honestly okay, so one thing that I will say is that I did a quick search of You're on Your Own, Kid and Harry Potter, and there are so many videos on the internet about Harry Potter.
We're not the first people to make this connection.
Put in the song. Yeah, and I didn't go through them because I didn't want it to influence how I was thinking, but I will now, and maybe I'll include some in the Substack. But there are so many people who have put together scenes from all the movies into this song.
This is asking for a super cut for sure.
Yeah, like it's got all, I'm sure the night bus is in there too. Yeah. And I want to shout out the fact that I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm looking at this list now.
7 songs at least magical number 7 songs to do for this topic other than this one. I love Harry Potter and I love Taylor Swift. But the closest one that I came to doing was Everything Has Changed, as a moment when James first met Lily and also when the Golden Trio meets. So just mull on that. If you guys have any song connections to Harry Potter, I would love to hear it, but maybe I'll go into the Substack and just drop a bunch more.
Can we do a few like honorable mentions?
Yeah,
because I had one that was not worth a full conversation, but I want to also throw out there. I did something bad. Hermione slapping Draco. Oh, why did it feel so good?
Also, when she sends the birds at Ron.
Hermione's a terrifying character when you think about it.
Okay, so my honorable mention is Mastermind for Hermione, because, all the wisest women had to do it this way. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Like, that is Hermione. She is a mastermind.
This is where I also get confused between book and movie Hermione, because I think book Hermione is actually not that smart. She's like book smart, but not street smart, is like a very important thing.
I think she is more street smart than we think. I read a fanfic that had a really good line about Hermione, and it was something about her being like morally gray in whatever direction she thought was right, where like she's
politician.
kind of, but like she brewed a polyjuice potion in her second year, which was not legal, but she did it because
that is book smart though, right?
Yeah,
like
but
she is a genius.
But it is book smart, but like,
oh, you're saying she broke the rules.
She broke the rules.
Like,
If she was just book smart, she wouldn't break the rules.
Right.
She would, I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed or worse, expelled.
I think she loves being a rebel. I'm not denying that at all. I just don't think she's that brilliant at the street smart stuff. Like when the devil's snare thing is happening, she was like panicking, right? Like in the books. Because Harry tells her, he was like, Hermione, you're a witch. And she's like, oh yeah, it's like one of the funniest things. But she actually straight up forgets. So in the books, it's light that gets rid of devil's snare. And she's like trying to remember. She's like, but there's no light. And Harry's like, are you a witch?
You have
or
a
not?
wand.
Yeah. And like,
she's also like 13 then.
yes. But I'm saying that in the books, there's a lot of moments where she will panic in real life. And Ron and Harry are actually the ones that pull her out of it because she's crazy smart, but she's not street
Can't apply
smart.
It in the real world necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Ron is actually like the chess master, the strategist in the war. He's like, we're going to go here, we're going to position. And that's just lost in the movie. So this is where it gets like very confusing between the two. But
I do think towards the end of the books though, Hermione does get more street smart because she has that bag that she like makes really big.
She's got everything.
Yeah, but she freezes in the Ministry, and she freezes as Bellatrix when they try to break into Gringotts. She freezes.
Yeah, I don't think that means that she's not. Is freezing the sign of not being street smart?
I was just gonna say she's human. She panics. Okay, she's human.
She panics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't disagree with you. I just the Mastermind does also work for Ron. I know there are Ron haters out there, but Ron is also shockingly good at fortune telling.
Yes.
Like if you go back through and you start reading it and thinking about it, like a lot of the stuff he does in their divination class comes true. He just has a weird kind of knack for it seems like he says that Harry's gonna suffer but be happy about it. Harry suffers and he's happy about it. There's like a lot of he kind of has a knack for that divination. He is the chess master, he is the strategist. He's just a teenage boy, so he also sucks.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
But that's not his fault. What teenage boy doesn't suck a little bit?
I also had all you had to do was stay for when Ron leaves the trio.
Yeah, that's
and
a good one.
leaves the hut.
Yeah.
Hey,
I love
all you
that.
had to do was stay. Yeah. And that's how you get the girl from when Ron comes back after ditching him. He has like a whole strategy. He's like, and that's how it works. That's how you get the girl. And then you say, I want you for better or for worse or for better. I would wait forever and ever. Broke your heart. I'll put it back together. I'm going to write about it. It's fine. There's a lot of songs. Give me your recommend. What else? What? Yeah.
This is going to be the most epic Substack ever.
I want to hear other people's ideas. So.
The only other honorable mention that we've discussed on a past episode, so I don't remember which one, but is Who's Afraid of the Little Me for Jenny, because she's tiny, but actually really terrifying and really powerful.
Yes. Bat Bogey Hex.
Also Molly Weasley, like the moment in the Battle of Hogwarts where she's like, that's my daughter, you bitch, and she just sends a curse spell right into Bellatrix's chest, and you're like, all right, get it, Molly, I guess. Not what I expected, but she was very powerful.
Random thing, Taylor also uses green eyes a lot in her music. Is one thing that I realized. It came up in Everything Has Changed. I think there's a few other songs where
Wonderland.
Yeah. So
New Romantics. There's a lot in 1989.
We could take all of those songs and it's just an unhinged Snape who thinks that things are going well with Lily.
Bad Blood would be great.
Oh my god.
I mean, I Knew You Were Trouble is like Dumbledore walking in to meet Tom Riddle at the orphanage.
Ooh, this is fun. I should just pick a random song and you guys can tell me what scene
Can
it is.
Can we play the wheel game that we played one time?
Yeah,
like,
okay, wait. I'm going to do it. Ready? Marjorie.
Aunt Marge, but we don't like her.
I mean, it's about someone who's passed away who they can still like hear their voice and it's like they're with them. So it's Harry in the Woods.
High Infidelity.
This damn wheel always gets really hard songs.
It's not a wheel, it's me scrolling the list.
You're just picking. Look at that evil laugh, this girl. Well, the game was fun while it lasted.
Well, I think we'll do this again another time because clearly we have, 7 books. There's going to be lots of connections we can make. So that is all we have for you on today's Christmas Harry Potter special episode. Join us next time as we maybe we just keep doing Harry Potter, or maybe we pick another topic and deep dive and overanalyze another song right here on AP Taylor Swift.
That's all we have for you today on AP Taylor Swift. Be sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on social at AP Taylor Swift to stay up to date, and join us next time as we overanalyze and deep dive into the next Taylor Swift song on AP Taylor Swift.